This is terrible, though. That is. Don't get a red one. Don't get a red. Oh, I have some ideas now. Talking to myself, as usual. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? Good morning. Welcome to the Old God's Meadery. I think I have everything here. It is 7:01 here on the East Coast. And I am excited. I will be as soon as I get my stuff up. There we go. Star Wars Mead came out yesterday. Look at this. Look. Look. Star Wars inspired mead. This is my Blackberry Galaxy mead. It's beautiful. It's delicious. It's awesome. Inspired by Star Wars. Came straight from my pop culture series. If you don't know what that is, you're missing out. Join our comment on the pin post up top, just called Pop Culture. If you have anything that's influenced you when it comes to movies, video games, TV shows, doesn't matter, books, put a comment in there. And if I choose yours, I will make a mead out of it, and I will tag you across the process, and I'll ship you a bottle of it when it's all done. That's how these pop culture meads work. It's one of two ways to get free mead. Welcome. If you don't know what mead is, it's the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world. Independently discovered by many different countries and cultures, the oldest evidence is actually from southern Africa. Just came out this year, some archaeology studies. Over 20,000 years evidence. 20,000 years ago. Insane. Blows your mind. There's also evidence about 10,000 years ago in China, Central America, and of course Northern Europe, where the Vikings traded it, made it super famous, did it better than everybody else. But what that means is, regardless of who you are or where you're from, your ancestors drank mead. And I think that's awesome. It might be one of your most awesome attributes. I don't know. I don't know you. So, I can tell you it's one of the most awesome that I know of you. So, from a layman's term, though, mead is made in a very similar fashion as wine, except we use honey for the fermentation process instead of grapes or other fruits. But there are combinations of everything in between, as the variety you see before you. Batch 128 of mine came out yesterday, my Star Wars inspired mead. Nobody on the internet makes more mead batches than I do. Nobody. And they are free. The recipes are always tagged in the descriptions. You can replicate the stuff at your home. My video that come out every Saturday is literally about the process and how I'm doing it, putting it together. All you gotta do is follow along, and you can make your own mead at home. You just need a little bit of equipment, which you can buy on Amazon. Don't spend any more than $50. You're getting ripped off. There are some cool kits, though, for about that. Or you can buy individual pieces. I'd be more than happy to tell you what I use. Well, I'll tell you right now. I use a 2-gallon fermenting bucket, a glass carboy, a mini hand pump siphon, and then 2 airlocks. That's all you need. Those 4 things to get started. You can get all that pretty cheap, or if you want to spend a little bit more money, most of those things come in like multi-packs. Like the carboys, for instance, you can get a 4-pack of those for not that much more than buying a single one, because a lot of that is in the shipping. They're glass. And if you get 4, you can basically make a new batch every few weeks. Once your bucket, you transfer it into your bucket with that siphon, and then you can start a new one in the bucket, and you'll have a 4-week cycle going there. Be pretty cool. That's what I would suggest. That's what I did. Took me a little bit of time to realize that you need something very important if you're going to make mead. Patience. I don't have any, so I bought a lot of carboys, and now I have a lot of buckets, and I make 1 batch of mead every single week that is free. All you have to do is follow along and make it yourself. The recipe is free, ingredients are free. The ingredients are not free. You have to buy those yourself. The description's free, though. The instructions are free. And then every Wednesday, if you're right here now, you can be right here again Wednesday. I go live to show you some of the mead making process live. Excuse me. And bless me. I am going to be racking some mimosa mead this coming Wednesday. That should be a lot of fun. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come back for that. Mimosa mead. Not my idea, but I'm very excited about it. Should be a lot of fun. If you don't know what racking is, that is the transfer process from my 2-gallon fermenting bucket to my 1-gallon glass carboy. So those Wednesday lives always rotate in 1 of 3 steps. I'm either making them. Last Wednesday, the replay video is up. I made some Boston cream mead from scratch. I'm incredibly nervous about it. I can't promise you how it's going to turn out, but I'm really excited as well. Boston cream mead. Anyway, this coming Wednesday, I'm racking mimosa mead. So that's step 2. And then step 3 is me actually bottling it from, once it's clarified for a few months, bottling it and then trying it live on camera. So stay tuned. Lots of awesome mead content. All of my mead videos, excuse me, I need some coffee, fall into one of 4 awesome categories that I'm all incredibly excited about. Yesterday's was my pop culture mead. This Star Wars mead, look at that. Star Wars inspired mead. This is my Blackberry Galaxy mead, inspired by Star Wars. Those pop culture meads are always a lot of fun. This coming Saturday, though, it goes back to the Norse gods and goddesses line. I will be doing a mead inspired by the god Balder, who is the son of Thor, the brother of Thor, son of Odin, and husband to Frigg. It's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully the mead is worthy of his attention. We will see. So come back for that. That'll be tons of fun. Week after that, going back to my 13 colonies mead. I'm doing 1 mead per original 13 colonies. Some of those are going to be palettes and ingredients that were available during the founding. Some of them are going to be more modern stereotypes. I did Virginia already with the peanut mead. It's right here. Awesome. Virginia's peanut mead. Next is New York. So stay tuned. It'll be good. And then the week after that, it's my holiday. So the 4th category there. I'm going to be doing a Labor Day mead. Should be awesome as well. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. Born on Labor Day, happy birthday. And you have an awesome last name. Awesome last name and awesome birthday. Hello, welcome to the Old Gods Meadery. A brand new week means a brand new mead. Every single week. I have never, ever missed a Saturday's mead, and I have never, ever replicated a recipe. Every single one is brand new. Every single one's an experiment to me. All of my reactions are true and live. You're going to love it. You're going to love it. So, like I said, this week's mead, inspired by the Norse god Balder. You don't look a day over 21. Shame on you. Last week, last week was, yesterday was this one. This is your Star Wars inspired Blackberry Galaxy mead. Don't be confused with my Freya mead from the Norse God and Goddesses line. If you don't know Freya, look at how beautiful that is. Look at it. Look how beautiful it is. Freya is obviously a Norse goddess of fertility, beauty, springtime. She's associated with just loveliness, all over loveliness. Well, her husband is missing, so she cries tears of gold, and when they hit the water, when they run into the sea, they turn into amber. So we made a Freya-inspired mead. Strawberry gold. So this is actually strawberry mead, flavored strawberry, but looks like her tears. I'm really proud of this one, so I wanted to show you. Mead is the oldest alcoholic beverage in the world, independently discovered by many different countries and cultures. The oldest evidence is from southern Africa over 20,000 years ago. Also, ancient China over 10,000 years ago, ancient Central America, and of course Northern Europe, where the Vikings traded it, made it super famous, did it better than everybody else. In an actual science form, mead is made in almost identical fashion as wine, except we use honey for the fermentation process instead of grapes. How do you make mead? That is my favorite question. I show you how to do it every single Saturday, every single one. So my video starts from scratch. Those videos at the very beginning, it's actually recorded about 5 to 6 months before you see it. I show you exactly what I put into my 2-gallon fermenting bucket. I added in some yeast and I seal it up and put an airlock on it. Yeast produces two things. It starts reproducing in each sugars. It produces carbon dioxide, which leaks out the airlock and into the environment, and alcohol, which stays in the bucket itself, which is what we're trying to capture. Over a few weeks, the yeast will do one of two things. It will hit its alcohol tolerance, which means the content of alcohol will no longer allow that yeast to reproduce, or it will run out of sugars and therefore stop reproducing. At that point, I transfer it into a 2-gallon 1-gallon glass carboy, where it will clarify and sit over a several month period. Everything that's dissolved inside the liquid will settle to the bottom, and I will transfer the clear liquid into these 750 liter wine bottles and then consume it with my friends and family. So hopefully that was a good enough short description. But like I said, every single Saturday's video shows you exactly how I make that batch. Welcome to the Old Gods Meadery. And then every Wednesday, if you want to see one of those steps live, I will be here every Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to show you one of those steps. This coming Wednesday, I will be racking some mimosa mead. Mimosa mead. You heard me right. It'll be a lot of fun. Welcome. Today, though, I'm just talking about anything you want to talk about and drinking some coffee. Because I stayed up too late last night and I love me some coffee. I actually didn't. I went to bed at a reasonable time. I don't know. I have this head congestion thing I've been dealing with all week. I don't know. It's rained a lot here on the East Coast. We're getting the remnants of the hurricane coming up. And I don't know if it's pressure. I don't know if it's allergies. I don't know. It could be hepatitis. I have no idea. But it's bothering me. Lots of meat drinking like you're still awake from yesterday? Because you need to go to bed. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Go back and watch the Star Wars meme that came out yesterday. It's right here. It's beautiful. Look. You gotta shake it a little bit, but isn't that cool? Easy to do. I don't do a lot of gimmicky stuff. 2 week. Oh, that's got to be tons of fun. Tons of fun. 2 weeks is a long time, though, right? I'm not saying that I wouldn't love doing that, but at some point you got to miss the modern amenities, right? I don't know. How long does the whole process take? My process, there's a few variables in there before I get really rigid on it. On an average, between 3 and 6 months. 3 is really light though, and you really gotta kind of control some other things that I don't do. There are some agents that speed things up. There's some agents that clarify things faster. There are some rapid yeasts that just ferment really fast. I typically don't do anything like that. My main goal here is to show the simplicity of mead making. I really want people to get interested in this hobby and community, and then the sky's the limit. I don't back sweeten either, and I don't use a hydrometer. I own one. I use it in the background, but I do not use that. I don't talk about it because it's a frustrating process, especially if you're new. But basically, hydrometer is the tool that we can use to actually check the alcohol content. I don't like using it. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like using it. Vast majority of people do, though. I could show you how to do it. I don't enjoy doing it, so I cut that part out too. But 3 to 6 months safely. Most of the stuff of mine averages about 5.5 months. So I used to do a series that I called Age Mead, in which I would open one of my own bottles from at least 6 months old. All the stuff you see behind me, though, is from 2016. I'm never going to open all those, don't get me wrong, but I do have a couple of the sister bottles from those batches left that I may open one day. But I don't plan on ever opening these bottles. These are my what I like to call my legacy bottles. The bottles when I first started making mead and kind of got the hang of it. I like to theme it right off the bat. All of these are Norse gods and goddesses. Which I just brought that category back. We're going on the second batch of that this coming Saturday. Hello. Dandelion wine. Yes, I made some dandelion mead not too long ago. It was batch 118, so 10 batches ago, about 2.5 months. I am unfortunately not licensed to sell, so I do the next best thing. I show you how to make it yourself at home. There are 2 ways on the TikTok side that you can get my mead, though. One of them is to subscribe to my lives. That helps me out and takes a little dent out of this crazy expensive hobby. It's not crazy expensive unless you make a lot of it, like I do. But those people get to choose the Wednesday batches. So I'll put a subscriber-only post up before I start a Wednesday batch, and they find out what flavor it's going to be, and then I pick one of those, and then that person gets bottles shipped to them when it's all done. Or you can go to my pop culture pin post. So I'm doing a pop culture series. Yesterday's was my Star Wars mead. This bottle's actually going to somebody named JB that picked the Star Wars as an influence. But there's a pin post. Go suggest anything that's influenced you in pop culture. Movies, TV shows, video games, books, whatever it is. And if I choose it out of those comments, same thing. I will tag you across the process, give you credit for it, and then ship you a bottle of it when it's all done. Hopefully that answered the question. I unfortunately don't sell. I do dream of doing it like many mead makers, opening up a meadery and a mead hall. As of right now, though, this is a stepping stone towards that, and I hope it continues to grow. We're at like 12,500 awesome, amazing supporters now on the TikTok side, and just shy of 2,000 on YouTube, which started a little bit later. So, who knows? The sky's the limit. The sky's the limit. I started doing this because I'm incredibly passionate about the history of mead. I really love learning and experimenting, and I wanted to share it because I don't have anybody in my own personal life to talk to about it. I'm not like lonely, just nobody cares. Nobody cares about mead. So I started this late 2022 and started doing meads inspired by different countries and cultures from around the world. I got into a really rigid routine with that, and it was incredibly rewarding for me. I learned so much about everything all around the world. So every single week I would make a batch of mead inspired by a different country. Leading up to that, I would study what I could about the culture there. I would order a food and a beverage from that country, so I had a little bit of palate reference, and then I'd make a mead out of it. So it's impossible to find on TikTok, unfortunately, because that stuff gets buried so fast. But if you jump over to the YouTube, I have a playlist of all those meads. It's a lot of fun. I did countries all over the place. Because I should backtrack a little bit and tell you why I did that. I got incredibly engrossed in learning about the Viking culture and my own family heritage. And it turns out the Vikings not only didn't discover mead, even though they're famous for it, they were one of the last ones to discover it. The mead has been independently discovered by lots of different cultures. The oldest is from southern Africa, over 20,000 years ago. So when stuff like that starts hitting my brain, I go, I need to know what that tasted like. So I did that over and over and over again, about 100 batches worth. This year, though, I started a brand new schedule. I rotate in 4 different categories to make it more appeasing to people. So that format kind of evolved into a different, to a 13 colonies meads. I'm doing that as a test run. If that does well, I will be doing the rest of the United States. But I did Virginia. I did a peanut mead. It's right here. And this is, every batch is an experiment for me. This one, incredibly proud of. I actually spilled, I had my first like blooper that I couldn't cut out. I spilled a bottle on this video. The whole room smelled like peanuts. So it was a good spill. I don't know. I mean, I know how I did it, and I show you how to do it in the video. I captured peanut flavor and put it in a mead. It's amazing. Go back and watch that. And then not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday, I'm going to be doing New York. So stay tuned. I also do the Norse Gods and Goddesses meads. This one is my Freya mead that came out a couple weeks ago. It's beautiful. And then Balder, the god Balder, who is the son of Odin, brother of Thor, and husband to Frigg, if you're into Norse mythology, comes out this Saturday. So that'll be a lot of fun. I hope it's worthy of his attention. And then I'm doing a pop culture. You guys already know that. That was the Star Wars mead that came out yesterday, and that is still up and running. So if you have any cool suggestions, put them in the pin post. Pop culture meads rotate about once every month, so you could own one. And then my holidays meads, which I actually started at the beginning of the year. There's already a playlist going for that. I started that. I made a peach mead. I made peach Bellini mead cocktails for New Year's Eve. That was a lot of fun. And then I did a Valentine's Day mead. I did a St. Patrick's Day mead. I did a Cinco de Mayo mead, an Easter mead, a Mother's Day mead, a Father's Day mead, which was the most manly mead I've ever made, and bacon bourbon. If you want to know, bacon bourbon mead. I made it. I showed you how to make it. And 4th of July was the last one I just did, and then Labor Day is the next one, so coming up in a few weeks. Newly subscribed. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yep, I love exploring. I love exploring all cultures, but the Nordic one is in my heart, and that's the one I speak to. It speaks to me, and yeah, hopefully you'll be proud of the Boulder mead coming soon, this Saturday. Hello, welcome. You guys have me for another about 7 minutes, and then I gotta go. I got lots of awesome, amazing, personal, family stuff to do today. But meat content every day, obviously, and then brand new batch every Saturday. So make sure go back and watch those. Again, if you're on the TikTok side, they get buried pretty quickly. I have a second channel. There's a link in my bio that just archives the meads. So you can go over there and look at any of the stuff that's come out this year, like the ones I just mentioned. But yeah, I'd rather you subscribe and just come here every Saturday. Every Saturday. And then every Wednesday. Yeah. Peanut mead. I mean, you don't know until you know. You gotta smell it. It's cool. And in retrospect, I've had I think the flavored whiskey genre has been growing exponentially the last several years. I think it kind of started with some cinnamon whiskeys out there, right? And then there was some honey whiskeys that came out. I think there were really there was a Jack Daniel's honey that I think that was growing wild. And now you can get lots of different flavors, including a peanut butter. And I've had it before. And I'm like, that's so cool. It tastes... I love Reese's peanut butter cups. That's the closest thing you can get alcohol-wise. Well, is it? I don't know. We'll see. I will tell you, this past Wednesday, I started a mead, also suggested by one of the TikTok subscribers, named Dennis. He's going to be getting a bottle of this when it's all done. Boston Cream Mead. I don't know how it's going to turn out. No idea. I roasted some chocolate nibs, which are basically chocolate cocoa beans before they're producing the chocolate. I roasted some. I added in a couple packs of good old pudding, powdered pudding. Shook it all up. Vanilla pudding. It's pudding, but it's pudding. We'll see how that turns out. We'll know in a few months, but yeah. See how fun this is? You should just follow along. Follow along, share. Always comment and like stuff as soon as you see it, especially if it's in the first 30 minutes. That's what TikTok considers to be the algorithm. I still like it and comment on it if it's after 30 minutes. But set your notifications and do it in the first 30 minutes. That's what makes everybody else see it. Cheers. Good morning. It is 7:26 here on the East Coast. Sunday should be a beautiful day. Looks like the hot weather has calmed down. We'll be in the low 80s here in the Maryland side. It should be beautiful. I'm very excited. If you guys don't have anything else, I'm going to start wrapping stuff up. Please go back and watch yesterday's Star Wars Mead. I grew up a big fan of Star Wars. I think everybody in my generation definitely did. You know, I'm not going to debate on whether Disney has ruined it or not. They've made some good stuff. They've made some bad stuff. But I made a mead. I think if anything's going to bring Star Wars back to popularity, it's this. Not trying to take credit for it or anything, but it's true. This coming Saturday, your Boulder Mead. The Norse god Boulder, the god of light. You'll see. It'll be a lot of fun. And then, yeah, Wednesday. Come back Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live. It's going to be a blast. You're already going to have your pajamas on. You're going to be laying in bed, right? Maybe lingerie. I don't know what you wear to bed. I'll be thinking you're in lingerie, though. That's how I like to think of you. We'll be racking some mimosa mead, and it'll be a lot of fun. So stay tuned. I can't wait to see you guys soon. It'll be a lot of fun. This week's going to be awesome. I can't wait to show you what's next. Thank you so much for letting me be here. Again, I'll see y'all real soon. Have an amazing day. Go out of your way. Make somebody smile today. Make a stranger smile. The world needs more love. Everybody has mead in common. Somewhere down your lineage, your ancestors drank mead. So keep that in mind when you're looking at somebody that's pissing you off, because they had awesome ancestors. Maybe they're having a bad day. Make them smile. I'll see you guys all real soon. Skull.